Hello guys, in this video tutorial I will introduce you about the concept of correlated queries using exist and not exist command. Exist and not exist are used with correlated subqueries. The subquery execute once for every row in the outer query. In other words, for each row in outer query, by using information from the outer query, the subquery checks if it returns true or false, and then the value is returned to the outer query. So we will have two queries, outer query and we will have embedded subquery. So subquery execute once for every row and then it will return the result. The difference between inner join and correlated query using exist and not exist is that correlated query execute once for the matching column, while the inner query execute for all the time for repeated columns. So let's take example and I will then explain. First I select data from the student table which is already inside database. Select steric from student. We have 15 rows, 15 students data, and we select steric from marks. We have these two tables. We can see from this table that we have 12 students data. 12 students data for 3 different subjects. Let's see, student 1 is enrolled in 3 subjects and marks is assigned accordingly. Then similarly, student 2 marks against different subjects. Student 3 marks against different subjects are given. So how to write correlated query using exist and not exist? So we will write the outer query which is select steric from student. So this means all those students will be selected where the students data is matching in marks table. So we will use the operators exists. So we will write select steric. So after executing this statement, select steric from students where exist, select steric from marks where student dot student id is equal to marks dot student id. So these 12 students record is retrieved. So now again we look for into these tables, select steric from student. For example, if you execute this query, it will display all these rows, and then after executing this query, all these rows are displayed. So the total rows are 36 against 12 students in 3 different subjects. So if we compare it with inner join, so how we will write? We will write select steric from student inner join marks on student dot student id is equal to marks dot student id. So you can see 36 rows instead of 12 are retrieved. The data belong to 12 students are repeated for 3 different subjects as compared to the correlated queries where only 12 student data are retrieved from the student table. So this is the main difference between inner join and correlated queries. Inner join will use the match column and will retrieve all the rows, either it is repeated or not. But as compared to inner join, correlated query when execute will retrieve only once the repeated row. Let's see again, select steric from student where exist, select steric from marks, where student dot student id is equal to marks dot student id. So you can see only 12 rows are displayed instead of 36. We here need only 24 student data of these 12 students which are enrolled which are enrolled in different 3 subjects, and marks are assigned accordingly. So this is the advantage. Other advantage that correlated query is more efficient. It runs more quickly as compared to inner join. So based on the condition, we will prefer correlated query as compared to inner join. Instead of steric, if we write just one student id, so the same result will be retrieved. If we write alternative word not exist, for example not exist, so what will happen? It will retrieve all those students whose result in any subject is not found in the second table, which is marks table. So we can use alternately these two terms, exist and not exist. So these are 12 students who are enrolled in different subjects and marks is finalized, and these are the 3 subjects where the student record is not found. So we take other example. For example, we select steric from marks. Again, these 36 rows for 12 students against 3 subjects, and if we write select steric from subject table, so these are the 3 subjects. If we insert one more row, insert into subject id and subject name, and we insert value for other subject, for example operating system OS. Now if we write select steric from subject where exist, select steric from student where select steric from marks, sorry it is marks, where marks dot subject id, because the subject id is a common column in these 2 tables. Marks dot subject id is equal to subject dot subject id. So if we execute, the result will be this. So we have 4 rows, but as the 4th row, which is recently entered, is not found in the marks table, so it will be not retrieved. If instead of exist, if we write not exist, so the 4th row which is not found, the 4th subject operating system which is not found in the marks table is displayed. So we can take other example like select steric from student where exist, select sum of marks obtained is the column in the marks table from marks where student dot student id is equal to marks dot student id. So we forgot group function, group by student id, and we will retrieve student id, and name we will use group by both these 2 columns. So only 12 records are again retrieved where the sum of marks exist in the marks table. So this was all about the correlated subquery. Thank you so much for listening me. Thank you.